Anyway, um, I want to do one other video. This one is gonna be more on. I did a video already just on Doja Cat, but this was more pertaining to the black man that seems to have an outrage. And I feel like I said, that they had a bone to pick against her from the get go. But I mean, after this, they, have their own issue because of their own ego issues and things of that nature. This video is actually going to be on everything, though, that went down on her end and how I perceive the whole situation. Now, I mean, I watched several videos on this, to be honest. I mean, I watched some videos, they were talking about, like, how for one, I mean, there's just so much to unpack here. Like, for one, I would start with my biggest issue with everything that came out was um, the situation where she was in the chat, and then also her calling gay men the F word while being bisexual herself. I'll get into that later. But first off is Tiny Chat. I heard different things. Like, I heard some people say that on Tiny Chat she said some. She didn't say anything. I mean, she said some things racist, but they were directed towards her. And I've heard some people say that, you know, um, I've heard on two different places people say this. So I don't know what was exactly going on, but one place said that, okay, maybe this is associated with um they were saying that she was like a cam girl or whatever, and she was doing some kind of race play. And the other place is a means for money or whatever. That was one place I heard, and then another place I heard that they were talking about how race play comes into these arenas. And to be honest, I know that they do, definitely. So to me, I mean, on that standing, I mean, I don't really judge people for how they make money or anything like that. That's not like something I judge in any respect. To me, I mean, like, if it's all an act for, getting money or whatever, then that's their choice, really. And I mean, like, how are you supposed to judge someone? I mean, we do all sorts of things. Like, I mean, when I started out in my employment, I used to work in, like, telephone interviews. Now, I remember sometimes I did interviews with people who called the president the N word. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Barack Obama, but I mean, I don't really like people calling him the N word. Um, but I mean, like, when you're at work or you're trying to get money or whatever, you kind of like, you put a lot of stuff to the side, basically. You kind of like just take it because, if you're doing your job, you're still getting answers and stuff, and you're um, getting quality data in that case, or whatever your job is, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So to me, I mean, like, in that respect, I can understand why someone would do that. I mean, I've heard actually other cam girls, they said like that a lot of the time for black girls, they get money off of like race play and things of that nature. And to me, I mean, like I said, I don't see anything wrong with that. To me, I just think like that's um that's a matter of just choice of how someone chooses to make money. If it was really off of that, then I guess I can't really judge someone for that. It, but there's other qualities to it, like, for example, hmm. um, the whole situation with this is the second situation, the second video I watched, and someone was like bringing up how they're bringing up how well it kind of ties into the last situation I was talking about, but I guess I could talk about that too. How they're saying like how some black people, male and female, like race play and all that stuff, and it's like they're kind of like fetish or whatever, right? So, I mean, with that in mind, I mean, like some people can have that. With that in mind, to me, I kind of am like, you can do that, you know. People have every right to do whatever they do, but I don't understand why someone would do it in that regard. Plus, I understand she has a issue, substance abuse issue, so that could be part of it. With all that in mind, to me, honestly, I don't really understand why we gotta cancel her though. Like, if everything she said was any of it really against me as a person, you know, I don't feel like she really offended me as a black woman, really. I feel like the only way you could say is through that tiny chat that, well, she was doing some really shitty stuff to herself, but I don't know, it's just like, well, she did some really shitty stuff to herself. There's so many ways I looked at this situation, honestly. Like, some people, well, the first thing I saw of it, I thought maybe it was just a situation of like, she was, you know, not understanding of how to act or like respond to people who are racist. Because going back, like my background and my family, I've noticed a lot of black people, and I'm not talking about just mixed people, but black people, for example, many black people do some really stupid stuff, okay? Or they are so fucking weak. Like, they're so fucking weak, they're scared. There's a lot of things. Like, they're scared of racist people, they are insecure about them, they're weak with them. They just have a lot of lack of backbone, really, in my opinion. You just don't have much backbone, really. And that's more so my thing. Like, I mean, it doesn't translate just to mixed people. That's what I mean. A lot of people made it a mixed issue. But I mean, like, I've noticed there's a lot of families, like black families. This is why some black families are colors. Now, they call each other crispy and bright. Now, it's no white person calling them those things. It is dark skinned black people who basically worshipped white people. Those families, usually they have some mixture in their family. Yes, dark skinned people on average are like 20% white. So, I mean, in part, it's like they'll have a mixture in their family. They might have some light skinned people, and then they like kind of worship them. They like are strong Christians, and they go to church and stuff, and they worship a white man. Well, kind of obvious, you know, and so they have this whole mentality, kind of like where white is right, and like they know white is right in their mind, and they feel like like they're inferior, but they just don't want to be reminded of it, and so they don't really have a good cancellation of it because they don't really disagree with racists. They probably have white racists in their families if you look far back in their family line anyway, because they are mixed with white. Um, they just they're very susceptible basically to like the racist white ideology. Sometimes, honestly, it's not even really racism, in my opinion, what white people have sometimes. Sometimes it's just supremacy. Like, they just think they're better. And honestly, if you think you're better, then everything will work out, but you don't think you're better. That's why I kind of feel like, well, it's not really like it's a mixed problem or anything. It's a matter of you don't think you're better, you're just gonna be fucked, okay? You're gonna be fucked if you don't think you're better, because then the next person who does think they're better is gonna hit you hard because now you think you're less than and they think you're less than. Who's disagreeing here? You see what I mean? So, to me, I mean, I don't know why people keep trying to blame her for that, because to me, I'm like, it doesn't have to do with that, really, in my opinion, at all. To me, it's more just so, like, more like having to do with how she's raised and stuff, things of that nature, and like how, just basically the values she was taught as a kid. I don't know. People are just like kind of like simple minded. Like they only think of like, you know, how like they basically like just look at people and like kind of judge from there.